Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I just like to first of all have a look at the ASX 200. Again, good to see us up 1% today. Still think it's a downtrend. We still need to do a little bit more for I think to see some positive, more positive price action on the market. But again, hopefully next week we can sort of bounce up and start trading a little bit better. I think the price, the Fed were fairly dovish on interest rates last night, and I think that will obviously support the markets hopefully in the near term. The fact, like as we're talking about in the office today, the Aussie dollar I think might be supported a little bit more, and I think that's more of a reason for our markets to potentially do quite well in the near term. I'd just like to have a look at some of the stocks that we've been talking about today. Well, first of all, we sent out a ORE, and this is a stock that it's a lithium producer in Argentina. I feel it's little bit like in some ways a Fortescue in the early days. It's a new lithium producer. I think they got into the right product at the right time. Lithium's at really record highs, and Orocobre potentially. I think their market cap's around that sort of 420 million mark. They're not going to need to raise any money. They've just raised 50 million. They get into full production. I think this is now the time. You often look at these stocks, when do you get into them? And I think now is definitely the time for Orocobre. We saw, just had a feeling that it was going to go today, and we put that buy order out. We sort of buy the trend, and I think we're going to hold this trend for a while and try not to sell it too quickly, because fundamentally it should do all the right things. The only thing that can mess this story up in the short term, from I believe it hitting $6 or maybe $7, is any production issues. Hopefully that won't happen, but I think if Orocobre isn't on your radar in your portfolio, it's well worth a look at. And again, it's good to see the stock obviously climbing 8% today. And again, if you look at the short-term chart, I'll just show this to you. It looks really bullish. So I think that's a great looking short-term chart as well. I'd just like to have a look at another stock that's obviously doing quite well for us today, and it's a little company. I'll put the code up here. It's called the Hazer Group, and again, this stock, we had an initial buy. I think it was under 30 cents, and now it's like a lot of these sort of early 10 baggers. Sometimes they can go up pretty quickly, pretty fast. Other times they can take a while to get some traction. This one is went down as low as 22 cents, and I think now she's broken those all-time highs today, which is really bullish. I think the Hazer Group can hopefully move up, and certainly today they came out with a great announcement. They've got two new agreements, one to demonstrate their graphene process, and the other to demonstrate their I'll show it to you here. I've got it. So they had new agreements with University of Western Australia to develop the Hazer technology to produce graphene. I mean, if you don't know, graphene is an up and coming commodity, and it's becoming sort of a product that's going to be used more and more in the modern world. And they've developed a partnership with a chemical engineering group called Chemplant to assist in the development and design of a demonstration plant. The demonstration plant is to showcase their process that basically converts natural gas and iron ore into hydrogen and high quality graphite. I mean, this is a really exciting company, and obviously as they prove this process works and they start putting into full scale production, I think the Hazer Group and it's not going to be a quick story, the Hazer Group, but I think over the next 2-3 years this company could be a fantastic story for any investors. It's quite interesting that look at the Hazer Group. It has taken a little bit of time to gain some traction, and one of the companies that I think we really like is an electricity company called LPE. It's been quite interesting recently. I mean, if you actually look on the charts, it looks absolutely fine. a little bit slow, but I think the market's just waiting to see what the next set of sales are from LP. LP have a absolutely fantastic process where they go into new strata developments and they basically offer the same electricity but 30% cheaper. And at the end of the day, you know, who wouldn't sign up? And they had before their last announcement signed up I think a pretty record amount of people, and hopefully as long as this sign up process has continued as we think it has, I think you know, LP eventually later on this year will again hopefully have a good price rise. What, you know, their target is to generate 450 GW, right? And each GW will generate 220,000 revenue, and that means they should be generating about $99 million in revenue maybe within 2 years. Um, I think you know, for a company that's got a market cap at the moment of this is undiluted at 18 million, although there is obviously some dilution and more shares coming on later, so you could argue maybe the market cap's more like 40 million. It's still potentially really good buying, and now there are a group of people at the moment, I think through Bell Potter, trying to accumulate as much stock as they can in LP, and I think it's just a question of being patient, and I think LP will do very, very well. Um, as funny enough, I think CM8 again, you know, I think we sent a video the other day to all the shareholders. Again, it's a really good story. It's basically all the stuff now you can get through your mobile phones, and you know, nowadays more people, everyone uses their mobile phones today to gather information much more than the actual internet, and CM and Crowd Mobile is certainly in the right space. It's growing its revenue, it's growing its earnings, and I think maybe it just needs another few months. And I think once two things, once they redo their loans, which are paying quite high interest rates at the moment, I think that once they renegotiate their loans, I think which they'll hopefully get solved in the next few months, and I think you see that what their earnings are like in the next quarter. I think CM8 will have that leap of faith. I think they're all great stories. I mean, I think Equity Story only do try and put out really good, exciting stories, and certainly those two stories are. And if you own them, you know, hold the faith, because I think, like a lot of our stocks, over time, you know, you should end up making a lot of money with them. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to talk about tonight. I'd like to. We did put out a new 3-year growth today. Again, the our analyst, it's a great write-up. I think you should go and read it on the website. You know, he does. You know, he calls it the next Green Cross, and it's obviously it's a really exciting company, and it's basically run by the same people that got Green Cross going. And if actually, I think I can do this without a problem. I'll read. I think it's the first paragraph of what we wrote today. I think it says it all. And our analyst said, he said, what's better than owning a hugely successful and growing business which returned over 1,000% in the space of a few years? The answer is owning a similar business early in its growth, run by the same people who were part of the original business and made it great. And that's our new 3-year growth story. And the code is the name of the company is National Veterinary Care, NVL, and potentially this could be hopefully another GXL. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for listening to Equity Story, and I look forward to bringing you this report tomorrow night.